Is life pushing you beyond your comfort zone? You know, a big thing that we all have a tendency to do is to create this box and confine ourselves to it. And that box is our viewpoints, our perspectives that we have about life, that we have about ourselves, that we have about the world that we live in. And we live within the comfort of that box. And commonly, what happens is that we stifle ourselves. We don't allow ourselves to shine or to move beyond the edges of that box of comfort. Because, yes, when you do, you might encounter that most fierce creature called fear. Fear is not necessarily a bad thing. It kind of gets a bad rap. It's like, oh, I don't want to be in fear. You know what? There are times when fear can save your posterior. You know what? If you're on the plains of Africa and there's a big cat chasing you, fear is a good thing to amp up that adrenaline and to get running as fast as you can up a tree or whatever. So fear can come in handy. And we can also use fear as an indicator of when we're moving beyond the edges of that box. And let me tell you something right now. We're all getting called to one degree or another to move beyond that cocoon that we've tried to keep ourselves in. It's time to begin to start expanding those wings and moving beyond that comfort zone and begin to fly, to begin to soar, to begin to shine, because that is how we're going to transform our whole experience. And it's also how we're going to positively impact the world around us. So maybe you're feeling discontent. Maybe you're feeling a lack of passion in your life. That is a great indicator that you're being pushed to move beyond the edge that you've tried to confine yourselves in. So when I first left the corporate world, I wanted to become this like speaker dude. I wanted to be the guitar playing Tony Robbins guy and pontificate words of wisdom and change people's lives, and I started actually getting out and doing that. I started doing keynote concerts and really cool experiences. And then something happened. Healing frequencies were discovered in my music. That kind of freaked me out a little bit initially in the beginning part of my journey and caused me to kind of pull back a little bit. But then also because I was challenging a lot of the paradigms that many of us were running our lives by at this particular point in time. And so often when that happens, we experience anger, resistance, frustration, and I had some negative experiences that kind of say, you know what, maybe it's safer to just kind of be behind my wall of internet marketing and not extend myself out. And what I find here even recently is, Mark, you've confined yourself in this little so-called safe, box. And the reason why you're feeling some of this discontent is because you're being called to move beyond it. You're being called to step into the unknown. You're being called to move through some fear. You're being called to expand and to amplify your signal. Now, why is that important? Because we're at a very critical time on the planet. And the most powerful thing that's going to transform and change it isn't anything outside of you. It's your light. It's your music. It's your soul's expression. And the movement of that, the shining of that, the expression of that is what's going to transform your life, but also it's going to be a catalyst for positive change on the planet, which is something that I know that we truly are all seeking it. But isn't it really cool to know that the most powerful force to create that change is the power and the force that's within each and every one of us, within you, within me. It's there. It's that light. It's that music. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to ask a question. Where are you not allowing yourself to expand beyond the edges of the box? And what action step can you take to begin to move beyond it? Please feel free to share in the comments below. And then what I want to do is I want to inject you into a little musical process to help you to build faith and trust in your journey, in your expansion, and in the shining of your light. And a knowing that who you are matters and that you're here to make a positive difference in the world in one way, shape, form, or another. Take a nice deep breath. Just breathe. So often we allow fear to keep us confined. In a life filled with discontent. Because at a deep soul level, we know we're here for something more. Something beautiful. Something magnificent. So gently set the intention to move beyond the edges of where you've tried to confine yourself to. Setting the intention to shine, to love, to express, to heal, to expand. Take another deep breath. And remember, life happens on the other side of the box. So just take a nice deep breath. We live in a time where we're all being called to one degree or another to get over it and get on with it, to begin to move beyond the edges of that box that we have tried so hard to confine ourselves in. You cannot confine the infinite. You cannot confine the empowered one within a box, because you will encounter discontent. You will encounter unhappiness. You will encounter dis-ease until you make the decision to expand, to move, to break through. So, with that being said, I'd like you to come up with one step that you can take this week to move beyond the edge of your box. Share it in the comment below. I will definitely respond to you. And let's begin to shift something. Let's begin to shine brighter. Let's begin to make a positive difference, not only in our own lives, but in the world that we live in. Because once again, who you are matters. And if you need a little vibrational support, in the comments below, there is a link to get a free download of high vibration music to support you, give you a little vibrational support to move you forward. And if you're looking to deepen your experience and get a little additional vibrational support, I invite you to check out my sound sanctuary. It's a beautiful place where you can come once a month and have music, energy healing created specifically for you to support you on your journey to play more beautiful music throughout your life. Take care. Have a harmonious day.